Hey, Momentum. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another Q&A here. And today I'm really excited to talk about like the topic we're talking about. We're going to show you how to pay your debt down in half the time.
Dang, love
Who
it.
wants to learn how to pay their debt down in half the time?
Everybody raise your hand.
Yeah, everybody have your hands up here. I've got Coach Jen with me, and let's dive in. So, every situation is going to be a little different. The numbers are going to look a little different for everyone here, but let's walk through a couple scenarios
Yeah,
where we're at in terms of debt payoff. Our average client, what we're paying off. We got credit cards, lines of credits, different car loans, sometimes different types of debt. But what's really cool is most of you, if you'll dial what we're about to talk about in and actually go and do it, you'll probably cut your debt payoff time in half.
love it.
Now, here's the funny thing, Jen, is most people won't even pay off debt ever. Like most people will like continue to be in that debt cycle for 10, 15, 20, 30 years,
Yes.
right? Um, it just takes them too long to get out. And because it takes too long to get out, life hits you again and life hits you again. And you kind of just get swallowed back into everything. You go further and further to debt,
Yeah.
right? It's usually how it happens. So, but when you look at the stats, most stats tell you the majority of people will take 6 to 9 years to get debt free if they work the plan.
Yeah.
I think we could do it way faster,
Yeah.
maybe even faster than 6.
Love it.
Okay, now our average client does it in about 24 ish, is what it takes them to do it. So let's dive in here. Let's show you guys how to do the same. So let's pull
Yes.
up that debt calculator here.
Yeah.
And let's throw some numbers in there, and maybe this will resonate with where you're at exactly. So you'll have a killer plan. Maybe you got a little bit more, maybe you got a little bit less. But the whole idea is if you implement what we're about to teach you guys, you are going to pay off that debt so much faster.
Yeah.
And I've just realized you can't share, can you?
Well, let me try.
Let me see here if I can. I think I have to. There we go. You should be able to now.
All right. Perfect. Here we go. All right. Can everyone see the calculator?
Not yet. Oh,
Not
hold
yet.
on. There it
Oh,
is. It
there.
just came up.
Perfect. Okay. I love this, Mike, because it makes it visual and makes it so much easier to follow and understand how even just small changes can
Huge
have such a
impact.
big impact,
Yes.
right? And
That's how it
so
works. Yeah.
we've got a few key things that we talk about in the debt snowball training here and as a group when it comes to paying off the debt, how to make it go faster. One of the things is listing it down. I know this isn't in snowball order.
Oh,
I
it's all
just
good.
I just noticed that right now. These two could be flipped. Um,
All good.
but I think we'll be okay. Um, we've got some interest rate avalanche going on in this example right now. But one of the things that you can do that we talk about is negotiating your interest rates,
Yes.
bringing those interest rates down. Because currently, let's look at the current payoff, and then we'll show you
Yeah,
the
let's
interest
look at
rates
yeah,
coming
exactly.
down.
I was gonna say take that expected monthly expected monthly payment 775.
Yeah, so that's the combination of all
All
three
three.
payments
Yeah.
estimated for, the car and the two credit cards, about 775 a month minimums. It would take
74 months.
74 months to pay off. That's over 6 years. It
That's
would
if you've never had
cost,
enough. That's if you've never had another debt come at, another life expense come at you. But yeah.
right.
And what's
Yeah,
our
just make
cost?
total interest cost an extra
24.
24,000 on top of the
Whoa.
33,000.
You're paying off over $50,000.
Yeah, $57,000 to pay that puppy off. So let's do some of our magic here, which
Okay.
is calling to negotiate. We've had several clients be very successful with this, getting current lenders to bring down their interest rates or
Yeah.
sometimes playing the 0% game, but again, it's a bit of a shell game. So for this example, let's say they negotiated and brought their interest rates down by half. In a world where you're paying 29%, 15 feels pretty good. And where you're paying 25%, 12 feels
12
pretty
and a half.
good. The
Yeah.
car, they may or may not negotiate. We'll leave it
Yeah.
at
That
5.
that doesn't usually get negotiated.
No. So let's just see by breaking those in half what the new calculated time is. So 74, you
54,
knock
20 months.
20 months off.
Wow. And look at the interest, how much that's been cut down. Still
Yeah,
high, but 8,000 versus what were we, 21?
24.
24. Ooh,
Yeah, eight and
wow.
a half thousand from 24. Total cost
Yeah,
before was 57,000 down to 41,000.
there you go. That's 10,000 in your pocket.
Right? That's just negotiating the interest rates.
Yeah.
Everything else stayed the same. You kept your payment the same.
Yeah.
So you're starting to get that snowball effect. More money is going to principal instead of interest.
Yeah.
The
Boom.
part that I
Right there.
find,
That one shift right there.
yeah,
That one shift right there completely changes everything for you.
absolutely.
Just be
Absolutely.
able to do that. And you know what, Jen? Let's go back up. Let's get the credit cards down to zero. Let's just take a look at that one.
Okay. It's going to make
Because
me say 1% because it
oh,
won't let me
got
do
it.
zero.
You got to do this. Okay,
But
yeah, but okay. Let's take a look at that and see what that does. Because we got a lot of
sure.
people that we do get down to zero through negotiating and different stuff like that. We get them down to zero. What does that save them?
Another 9 months.
Oh, boom. But it saves them
Uh,
quite a bit in interest though.
7,000 in interest.
7,000 in interest.
Yeah.
And you pay a total of 34. So we've gone from 52 to 41 to 34,000
Crazy.
in terms of your total payoff. And we've gone from what, 21 in the first example, 21,000 in interest, or
24.
24,000, sorry. The last example was 8,000
8,600.
to technically it would be zero or close to zero, but yeah, with that 1% it adds a little bit. But even in that example, 1,400 is huge.
Huge. Huge difference.
Huge.
Yeah. So that's why negotiating your interest rates on your credit cards and your loans is so important to get those down as much as you can. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say
Say
no.
no, yeah.
Um, but heck, even if you get three no's and one yes, did you lose?
No, you
No,
won.
man. You didn't lose. You built the muscle. You made the calls,
That's right. You know
right?
what else, and what else you can do if you do get the no, you can always dump the points and the perks, and generally you will get lower interest that way as well.
Yes.
If you're not collecting the points and perks, you can knock that down
Yeah.
significantly as well. So that's another little trick there. Now, this isn't the trick to get it done in half the time. We were just showing you some cool stuff.
Yeah.
The trick to get it done in half time, are you going to put the interest rates back up?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, put them back up and let's recalculate the numbers.
Okay, so here back to the original numbers. So 29% interest, 25, 5. Everything else stayed the same. So 74
74
months,
months.
that 24,000 in interest, total payoff 57,000 on 33,000.
Perfect. Yeah, let's
Okay.
just say you can't get the interest rates down, right? Like maybe that's not something you have in your ability to do right now.
Yeah.
Here's another way to get this cut down in half. Scroll on down to the extra payment.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. So we could do a whole bunch of examples here, but we should probably start 500.
Yeah.
That's an extra 125 a week on a regular 4-week month.
Which doesn't sound so big.
It doesn't.
When you break it down and you're like 125 a week. I mean, that's some people's restaurant budget.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. Restaurant budget. I'm just trying to do some quick math here as we're talking. So, that's if you decide to work a little bit extra, that's 6 hours a week extra. That's 3 2-hour shifts. That's one Saturday shift or one Sunday shift if you work a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday type of situation.
Yep.
There's many ways to go and get that.
Yes.
We'll talk about that a little bit here. But yeah, let's throw 500 in there.
Yeah. All
And
right,
let's see what
ready?
that does for us.
There you
Ooh,
go. Half the time. 35 months.
wow. Did you guys see that? What were we, 74?
74 was the original, so 35. I mean, it's less than half, but just
Yeah,
under.
yeah.
But this is big too. 10,000 interest instead of $24,000 in interest. So the interest is more than half
Yeah,
that you save
yeah. There you go.
by
An extra
finding that
five.
extra 125 a week for this example.
Yeah. An extra $500 a month gets your debt cut in half.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
especially in the high interest rate world. You're going to get that cut down quite a bit. Now, maybe do a
Absolutely.
combination. Maybe you only got an extra 250, 300, and maybe you can negotiate some of those rates down to
Yeah.
zero or to half. That's another combination that's going to work to getting your debt cut down in half,
Yeah.
right? And half
Absolutely.
getting your debt paid off in half the time. I
So
love
good.
it. This is
So
awesome.
good. Yeah, I love this tool, Mike. It's so visual. It helps you to see that making changes, like a couple small changes, what that means and why
Yeah.
it's worth making those phone calls to the creditors or shopping around to see,
What's
if
out there?
if you can get yourself a 0%, make a transfer. It has an impact, and using your cash flow plan, following your snowball and throwing everything you can to get rid of these things, it saves
Yeah.
you time and it saves you interest, saves you money, right?
Yeah.
Because what could you do with another $10,000 in your pocket
Ooh,
or
go on vacation.
$24,000,
Buy a car.
right? For
Yeah.
cash with no payments. You could buy your next car with no payments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. And so debt.ca, if for all our American friends out there, this works for your stuff as well.
sure.
It's just a simple calculator. We found this to be one of the better ones out there. So this is
Yeah,
one that we've used a few times. Okay, let's talk about how to find that $500.
yeah, good
Like,
idea.
how do we actually find? So it's easy to teach and show you the theory, but how do we actually find that $500? Now we've got a whole module for you guys on how to find some extra money.
Yes.
But let's talk about some quick wins here. So I just led to one earlier. I said part-time job. Now I estimated you making $20 an hour.
Yep.
I mean, I'll be honest, if you live in California and you work it in and out, you're making $22 an hour flipping burgers.
Yep.
If you go work at Chipotle part-time, you're making $20 an hour. Like, so some of these minimum wage places, or some of these places you would start at minimum wage at, get you right into the ballpark of what you would actually need to make. And that would be $20 an hour working 6 hours a week.
Yep.
That's one way you could do that right there.
Yep.
Okay. Um, Now maybe you can't work, maybe you're already working overtime or side hustling or do something like that. What are some other ways people can find some more money?
Yeah. I like to find it in the cash flow plan and
That's a great way.
yeah, like looking at
Oh
your
my
cash flow
goodness.
plan like a boat and you're finding the leak.
Yes.
Right? You want to identify the leaks. Where is the money leaking out? Um, Restaurants, I know I pick on restaurants a lot, not because I don't like them or enjoy them. I do, but I recognize they cost so much more
Than they
to have
used to.
that convenience, right? What's that?
Than they used to. They
Well,
cost
that
so much
too.
more than they used to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my husband and son went to Subway the other day. They had a gift card for 25 bucks. It was $30 for them to
For
get
two
2 foot
subs.
long subs. They're like, what?
And it's not even that great.
No, no cookie, no drink,
Just two subs,
just 2
30
sandwiches.
bucks.
It was
What
crazy,
world do we live in? Oh my goodness, that's insane. So yeah,
right?
like the cash flow plan for most people now, if you've never done one, you got to get into module 1 and learn how to do it. Most people
Yes.
will find an extra 250 to $500 more per month
Yep.
just by implementing the cash flow plan. Now, they might not get it month 1. Usually month 1 you don't get it, but what happens in month 1 is you start to realize, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was spending $200 on Starbucks. I only planned to spend 50."
Yeah.
Right? And there's certain categories like that you will find what you think you spend and what you actually spend are probably two different numbers.
Yep. 100%.
100, especially if you've never done this before, guaranteed you will find those areas where you're overspending. Because what happens is we, at the beginning of the month, we sit down, we plan we put that budget together, what we plan to spend.
Yep.
Then at the end of the month, we write down what we've actually spent and we compare the two numbers. And that's where you're going to find the gap
Yes.
or the leak on the boat, right? So most of our clients that we work with one-on-one, that's an easy area right there. You don't have to
Absolutely.
work any harder. You just gotta look at what you're actually doing, manage it a little bit better, and you get an income boost.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about spending smarter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Finding the deals, making a meal plan and grocery shopping and sticking to your plan, recognizing that $200 in your restaurant column isn't $200 a week, it's 200 for the month, right?
That's
Like
right. Yeah.
I had that question happen. Someone asked me once, they're like, why don't I have an emergency fund? I took a look through the cash flow plan and I said, you ate it. Like they did.
You ate your emergency
You
fund.
ate your emergency fund. And so
Yeah.
it takes time. That's not to shame them, but to create that awareness, right? They had
Yeah.
no clue that they were spending that much money eating out,
Yeah.
right? And they started to really dial it in. I'm so proud of that couple actually. They brought that down to less than 200 a month.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
good
was
for them.
easy for them to spend 800.
Yeah.
Easy. And it's like this is where you find it. So
Yeah.
found money in using the cash flow plan, cutting back on some lifestyle things. Um, maybe getting better at turning off the lights and, washing your dishes at night and doing your laundry at the, off peak hours and just making those small
That's
changes.
for you guys though. Us, we don't have that.
Does
Most
it,
most places don't have that.
most places don't have that?
That's
Okay.
Ontario specific,
All right. Well, Ontario, there you go.
or as we call it, unterrible. No, I'm
On
joking.
terrible. Wash your laundry at night so it's cheap.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, in Ontario, you've got the time thing, right? Like it's going to
Yep.
cost you more to do certain things. Again,
Yep.
I don't know what your timing is, but certain
Yep.
times a day is going to cost you more to do certain things than others.
Yep.
And I forget what they called that, but I remember when they brought that in. Yeah, most places don't have that, so that's not
Yeah.
something they do.
Oh, that's funny. I
So
thought more places did that. Okay.
no,
Well,
just
well,
Ontario.
enough of you are in
Maybe a few
Ontario.
others, maybe Quebec, but U.S. we don't do that. Out west we don't do that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Well,
I can do my laundry any time of day. It's
you
going
can
to
do
be the
your
same
laundry
price.
anytime, doesn't cost you anymore. But you
Does
could
it
hang your
cost me
clothes out.
double?
You could hang your clothes outside to dry and save money,
We do that. Yeah, that's awesome. Especially when you get that nice sun and that nice breeze.
right?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Like
yeah,
30 minutes to an hour, it's done. It's
yeah.
beautiful. But
Um,
so many ways, right?
yeah,
Like cutting back on unused subscriptions and
yeah. Hey, wrapping your car.
yeah.
No, we won't go into details on that exactly here. Go watch the module. We got a module that walks through that, how to do that. But that's a great one. I love that one.
Yeah.
Wrapping your car, you get paid to drive.
Yeah.
Is what you do, right? Um, is a great way to do that. Yeah. So, and then filling a need. I mean, I got people. What's so cool about the neighborhood I live in is I get a lot of door knocks, and people selling.
Yeah.
I get on services. It's like, hey, you want me to irrigate your lawn? In your backyard, I can do it right now for $40.
Yeah.
You get a lot of that type of stuff, which is cool because I didn't feel like I got that back in my old neighborhood. But sometimes you get, and a lot of times it's kids doing it. It's like teenagers, just like
Yeah.
to me, it kind of reminds me of that entrepreneurial spirit, just going door knocking, getting rejected probably 10 times and getting two jobs.
Yeah.
But if you can go door knock 30 doors a day, that's six jobs you get.
Yeah.
30, $40, you start to find that money really fast,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So there's so many things out there that you can do here. We got the modules for to walk you through exactly how to do that. But we just gave you a couple examples. Go work for someone else for $20 an hour. Go
Yeah.
do your own door knocking thing. Cash flow plan. If you don't want to do anything, just go do the cash flow plan.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Negotiate the debt as well. That's another one. Like negotiate the interest you're paying.
Yeah.
Is another one. Like so, what's that? 4 or 5 things you can do right off the top there, right?
Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, that's some helpful tips for you guys, right? Of how much faster could you pay down your debt if you found $500?
Awesome, guys. Yeah, there you go. It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, cut that debt in half. And also, let me just say one more thing, Jen. The whole goal is not to cut for the rest of your life, because we were talking about cutting restaurants and stuff like that. The
Right.
goal is to sacrifice in the short term. So in the long term, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to like short term buckle up and get the job done here in 2.5, 3 years, completely debt free, you're living life way differently than the majority of people who will be in debt for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll have more freedom. You'll have more freedom, you'll have more money to be able to bring some more of these things back and right? Cutting back doesn't necessarily mean cutting out.
Yep.
But sacrifice, it's going to look different in order for you to reach that victory. So definitely take some time to think about it, what you need to do in order to make that change for you.
Awesome, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All
Bye for
right, take
now.
care.